Welcome to the C-Level Strategy Series with John Arnold. This series delves deeply into the issues business owners and leaders face each day as they operate their businesses in a post-pandemic world.
Holly, I'm going to start with you on this. How do you account for different learning styles and habits of your employees?
How do I account for them? When we have people that come in and they're interviewing and then we hire them, we have in mind who we're going to put them with for on-the-job training, because people come to us in our manufacturing. We make sure there's certain basic skills that are in place, and then from that point, we know that there's a few people senior people in our organization that we would pair them up with, and that has always been successful for us because there's some shadowing involved. There's then they're doing, and then the senior person is watching, and then they're on their own, and that's over a process of time, along with some sit down and let them know exactly the process and the whys. You always have to make sure that they have the whys down, because everything else makes a lot more sense when you have the whys.
Art, how do you account for different learning styles and habits of your employees?
So, it's always having an expectation set first. Knowing what is expected is the most important thing when we start talking to a new employee coming in. And once you have that expectation and you see some faltering or you see some areas that they're not strong at, then we do sit down. We do have directors and we have program chairs and we've got deans and we've got vice presidents and the like, that everybody can sit down and have that open dialogue with those individuals, and really making sure that what skills they need to have is to meet the expectations of the organization, and having that open dialogue, having the freedom to be able to share and express what you need to express and say, hey, listen, I don't know why this isn't working for me, but let's find a way to make it work. We do that on a regular basis here. We do it on our academics team. We do weekly calls with our adjunct faculty, our full-time faculty, our staff. We do monthly staff meetings. So we know where the bar is. We always, if anybody doesn't know, we've obviously raised that bar significantly at Eastern Gateway, but we set the expectation and bring people along with you. And I think that's the idea. Like, even if anybody new coming into this is not a traditional college model. So you're looking at it differently, and you have to get people's mindsets to understand that this is a different way of executing an education business model. So getting them understanding and then getting their skills where they need to be is definitely what we do on a regular basis. It's constant training, it's constant mentoring, and our growth has shown that it's working. The process is working.
Right? 50,000?
50,000 students.
That's some growth.
Yeah,
I'll
that
be
is growth.
That's
largest community college in the country. So there's a reason why.
Right in our
and we
backyard.
think outside the box.
That's beautiful.
I have a practical question to add on to this. So regarding learning styles, there's reading, audio, and visual. Practically speaking, we probably most often find an article we read and forward. But what if your team member is an audio-based or a video-based learner? Do you let them take the time during the workday to consume that content, and then how do you test and make sure that they're immersed in that content? Versus, it's easy to flip articles at somebody all day long. What's the practical solution there?
Go ahead, Barb. She can't wait to no, I might put her on the spot.
I think at this point, if you're not willing to accept that, especially young people, but everybody, are going to be watching videos at least some part of their day to try to figure something out, you are not living in the same world I'm living in. I mean, everybody I know figures out how to do something new on YouTube at least once a month, something completely outside the box that you would never expect them to do. And it's a completely viable way to learn, and it's much easier for most people, including myself, than trying to read the instructions and figure out where part A goes into and what part B actually even is. So it really is freeing for so many people to be able to catch a YouTube video to figure something out. I'm sure I continue to forward articles on as well. I am absolutely positive that I do, but you'd probably be better served sending on a video link.
Mm-hmm. Holly, do you have people on the shop floor that are literally, they have their phone up and they're trying to fit a part and they're watching a YouTube video sometimes?
Now, not usually with that, but a lot of times it's just, when we talk about different aspects of where people are going to be located and what materials they're going to be working with and what kind of equipment they're using, we give them, we talk to them about the practical side of it, and we also have the side where you're going to give them some material they're going to read, but most of it is the visual. The visual of seeing it, hearing somebody talk to them about it, and safety is the biggest aspect there also. So when it comes to safety, we have monthly safety meetings, toolbox talks during the week. Then I also have annual reviews of all of our OSHA programs that we do. So it keeps people in the know. And sometimes they get repetitive, but it's important to be repetitive because I think that's one of the key things in manufacturing is just keeping it in front of them. It makes a huge difference, and whether it's even a ladder situation or just actual tools, you want them to be comprehensive for all of it. Yeah.
I'm going to reply just from pure candor. Our model is so fast, and the way we do things is like it's like brain surgery. You can't miss a T being crossed or an I being dotted because you can cost someone millions of dollars by putting the wrong number or letter in the system. So I never have, to be honest with you, I never have time to allow somebody to research something or audio learn something. If that is the case, they need to pass a test or they need to learn something. We just give them the day off or a couple of days off and say, concentrate on that. We'll see when you get back. But the demand is, you better know when you get back. So I think the answer to your question, Jeff, from my side of things, and just comprehensively, I use that word a lot today, is it applies to really different occupations. Like if you're a surge tech and you're helping a surgeon in surgery, they're doing brain surgery, there's no such thing as, well, let me go take a break to figure out how we can use this instrument, right? Usually the medical device salesperson's with them and they're teaching them how to use an instrument, on-the-job training, but there really isn't this time period of patience to where, well, we're going to take it and learn it. So I think it's a case per case scenario, is what I think it is. That's my answer to that question. Do you want to add anything to that, Art?
No. I think we have people doing things and training online all the time. So there's always virtual informational things that we can look at and teach things. And so it's out there. It's available to us. And I think a lot of students and a lot of individuals want to learn that way instead of really doing it by hand or reading a piece of paper, because they do not want to read a piece of paper. They want to see it, visualize it, and make it happen.
So I'm hearing structured learning, like literally take this block, do nothing else, and learn it. And it's not in the flow of the day, or so to speak, but it almost has to be scheduled, structured, focused, dedicated learning, so you can't really learn on the fly.
No, I'd say it's occupation per occupation. In my industry, or I would say the health field or whatever, the speed and the need for instantaneous results on something doesn't allow for that. But I'm sure Holly and Barb's organization, and especially Art's, does allow for time to say, hey, listen, go take 20 minutes and learn this from this or that, or ask this person or call this person, and let's get this perfect, versus just get it done right now. My point to that is I think it's per occupation. That's what I think. That's my opinion.
Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications. And also make sure to connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. For all of your business news, visit businessjournaldaily.com. For all of your arts and entertainment news, go to afterhoursyoungstown.com.